Welcome everyone to today's session on enhancing your Caseware experience, updates and product roadmap. The team and I are very excited to share the latest updates and roadmaps for 2025, ensuring that you're getting the most from our solutions. Okay, so just doing a quick sound check. If you could raise your hands, if you can still hear me. Just a quick, if you could, checking if you can hear me, if you could raise your hand. Cool. Okay, so for the agenda today, what we will cover is an overview of the new software installation process, insight on the enhanced success community, enhancements in the financial statements update process, as well as assurance and analytics, and finally developments in SQM. Okay. Apologies for that. Let's see if the sound is back now. Okay, I can see the sounds. As we continue to expand our offerings and enhance our support for firms across Africa, my role is centered on ensuring that our products not only meet industry standards, but also anticipate and address the evolving needs of our business. In today's sessions, I'll walk you through some of the key initiatives and improvements we've implemented over the past year, as well as give you a glimpse of what's coming next for Caseware Africa. Please feel free to use the chat for questions or thoughts during the presentation, and we'll have a short Q&A after each presentation to address as many questions as we can. Once again, welcome and thank you for being here. Let's dive in. When we look at the year that was, we started 2024 with the launch of our SQM e-learning courses. We successfully launched the e-learning courses, which was a major step forward for us in supporting our clients' professional development. These two courses provided free, structured training, high quality, accessible at any time, helping you stay updated on essential product features. We then also launched our firm template guide in November 2023, and we introduced additional training and support during the year. After that, we launched our Get Ahead 2024 program, a free training initiative designed for new professionals in the field. The program serves as a talent incubation strategy, offering essential skills and a solid foundation in our products. The Get Ahead initiative not only strengthens our client engagement, but also reinforces our commitment to fostering future talent. In Q1, we also made a strategic decision to sunset our tax and secretarial products. This shift allowed us to reallocate resources and focus on our core offerings that align with the evolving needs of our clients and the market. The quarter also marked a significant leadership transition. Our CEO, Jody Joseph, officially handed over her reins to Christian Brink. Under Christian's leadership, we anticipate continuous innovation and strengthened client relationships. This leadership change has energized our team, setting a tone for a new era of strategic growth. In Q2, we adjusted our release cycle for early ISO 600 content access. To enhance content delivery and ensure early access to critical templates, we adjusted our release cycles to a main release in July. This shift allowed us to introduce the ISO 600 content earlier than anticipated, enabling clients to implement the latest standards with minimal disruption. But not only did we release earlier, we also launched 2 new products to market. Caseware Idea Easy add-ons, which allows you to quickly look at information and data from Sage and Syspro, as well as client inquiries, a new cloud app allowing you and auditors to efficiently engage with their clients during the audit. In Q3, we also extended our support hours. We recognize the importance of client support, especially during the busy periods, and decided to extend our support hours. This enhancement has enabled us to better assist clients across various time zones, as well as accommodate urgent needs from our clients. Each of these initiatives has played a crucial role in Caseware Africa's commitment to supporting you, our clients, through accessible training, improved guidance, and responsive support. Our new leadership, streamlined product offerings, and strategically timed content releases have positioned us for continued growth and strengthened our relationships as we head into the new year. Looking forward, with a focus on innovation and enhanced client experience, we look forward to see more impactful initiatives in the coming years, driven by our commitment to our clients, success, and the talented team at Caseware Africa. When we look at what's coming, we have another year full of new products coming your way. We're excited to launch the release of GIA's Internal Audit. This new product is designed to provide internal audit teams with a comprehensive solution for conducting internal audits effectively on the new internal audit standards coming effective on the 9th of January 2025. The launch positions Caseware Africa as a key player in the internal audit space, meeting a rising demand of tools that streamline audit workflows and improve accuracy. During 2025, we will also launch Caseware IDA. IDA represents a significant shift in how we approach the work that we do. Caseware IDA is our AI-powered digital assistant that enables our users to utilize the power of AI on the highly secure Caseware cloud. Looking forward, IDA will be central to our strategy of integrating advanced technology to deliver smarter solutions. Also coming up is ISRE Review on the cloud. And in line with latest developments, we are updating our platform and review methodology to provide better support for review engagements. Our new cloud app, ISRE Review, will provide enhancements on guidance and performing an ISRE 2400 review for the financial statements. The new app will help firms improve the quality and efficiency of their review engagements while facilitating a compliant and minimizing the time spent on the manual processes. As part of our expanding cloud suite, we will also launch IFRS Cloud. We will deliver a cloud-based solution specifically tailored for IFRS financial statements. IFRS Cloud strengthens our cloud strategy by broadening the scope of solutions we offer on cloud, making compliance easier and more efficient for our clients. Our cloud strategy is really aimed at enhancing flexibility, scalability, and accessibility for our clients in Africa. While we are committed to expanding our cloud offerings, we understand that many of our clients rely on our desktop solutions and value the stability and control they offer. You can rest assured we will continue to support and enhance our desktop products. We are focusing on providing a seamless experience for both cloud and desktop users, with clear pathways for those interested in transitioning to the cloud at their own pace. Our goal is to offer a flexible approach that allows clients to adopt cloud solutions when it's right for them, without sacrificing the reliability of our desktop solutions. As we head into 2025, please keep a lookout for our communication around launch dates, as well as early access programs, should you want to be the first to see what's new. And finally, following the success of this year's intake training, we are excited to announce that we'll be hosting the Get Ahead free training program once again. We'll continue to help firms onboard new talent effectively, giving them a strong start and better understanding of the tools that they will be using. In addition, Get Ahead 2025 will build on last year's success, bringing fresh insights and expanded modules, together with interactive sessions to help the new intakes as well as year 2 trainees get up to speed quickly and efficiently. With that, I will now hand you over to the team, and first up is Mohammed, who will take you through the installation process for our desktop products.
Good morning, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today to take you through the new installation process. I think I'll take you through why we did the installation process, take you through the journey that we envisage that we'll be deploying with this November release, and then we'll just give you some high-level insights into the roadmap for what we're planning next year. So I think with the old cloud installer, the issues that we had and wanted to address with the new cloud installer is that we identified as a business that the installations is the largest number of support calls that we get currently. And we definitely want to make the process as easy, as simple as possible. So we looked at what we had, and we really wanted to create something that we could iteratively make better. And the old cloud installer really wasn't going to get us there with the changes that we envisage. So we want to bring down the number of support calls as step one. We obviously want to make the process as easy as possible. Couple key problems that we want to solve. I think some of you might have experienced that you've gotten a blank in download screen at times. And the other bit of feedback that we got quite consistently was that it took a long time to generate a package to download. So we wanted to address those key issues while keeping the process as simple and easy as possible, and as close to the old installation process, because the old installation process, we didn't want to change things too drastically. So with that, I think we can get straight into it. So I think the first thing that I want to mention is that the way that you access the downloads hasn't changed and will not change. It's going to be the exact same process that you used to currently. So you'd log into the community and you'd navigate to my software section. You will still have to make sure that you have the community admin rights. I think from that perspective, I do want to just remind everybody that if you navigate to the success community, so that's success.casewareafrica.com, and if you type in Caseware Unity users, and you click on the first article that comes up, you'll get the steps on how to make sure that you manage your. Just a reminder on that. I think it's important when it comes to accessing your software. So we've got everything in place, and those processes haven't changed. So As on screen now, you will be seeing the old cloud installer. So some of you might be very familiar with this screen. This is the screen that actually has been deprecated, and from this November release, this is the screen that you won't get anymore. The process is exactly the same. So previously, you used to click on this launch download button, and it used to navigate you to the old cloud installer. What's going to happen now is that it's going to download an installer, which is going to be a single click exe. So when you click the launch download button, you previously used to get a zip file. That's what you're seeing on the image on the right. And then you had to extract the zip file, and then it was confusing when you went into the zip file what to double click on. So we've made that process a bit better, and we've improved that experience by just giving you a single exe. So when you click the launch download button and navigate to your downloads folder, you'll see CWA installer downloader, which is an application that you just double click. I think I just want to pause here for a moment and remind everybody, I think we're going to be deploying this to everybody with the November release. There is about a list of 30 clients that we're not going to be using the new cloud installer. I'll be in communication with you all directly via email, and we'll move you all over in probably towards December, Jan. But that's a very, very, very limited number of clients. The other thing to note is that when you do get the release mailer, we'll supply you with a link to the community page where you'll get all the full list of all the features and how to use the new cloud installer. And you can use that in conjunction with this video to make sure you get the right experience. So we really want to make sure you get an improved user experience, and these are the types of things we're doing to make sure you get that. When you double click on the app, it's going to open up and it's going to look like what you're seeing on screen. It's a tabbed page. The first page that you see is the welcome screen. And immediately here, you just have to go next. Then you're going to get to the registration key screen. The download code will automatically be populated. That download code is unique to each one of your firms. You all don't need to know where it's available on your license statement and on your community page, but we're going to pre-populate that for you, so it makes the process as easy as possible. You just have to accept the terms and conditions, and then move on into the next step of the process. So now we're going to get to the My Software part. I'm quickly going to jump to the actual app now. So on screen, you can see the actual app. It's going to give you the name of the firm. It's going to give you all the software that you have available that's according to your license statement. Further to that, so you won't see any extra apps and you shouldn't see any less apps than what's available on your license statement. Further to that, on the right-hand side, if, for example, within SME, you'll see the different licenses that you have purchased. So you might, in this instance, be seeing cooperative, but in your instance, you might get obviously company and closed corporation and those types of things as well. So on the screen, what we intend you to do is to select the product that you want to download. In this instance, I've selected Caseware Connector, and it tells you that one product is selected. You just go next, and now you've come to the download screen. You can obviously go back if you want to select multiple products. You're more than welcome to. If you feel that you've want to add products, you go back and you change your selections, and you click the download button. So immediately now what's happened, it's given you a progress indicator of how far you are with the download, and it's told you what software you've downloaded, and it's automatically jumped you to the install/distribute tab. So the install/distribute tab is, I think, where the screen is is where the hardest part of the journey is, if I can say that. What we realized is that everybody that comes to this cloud installer has different user journeys in mind. Some people are coming because they want to get the latest software and they want to install it immediately. Other people are coming because they want to distribute the software. For example, there's the firm champion and they want to get the latest templates so that they can push it out to their firms or the rest of the members in their firms. So that's the key difference that you can choose to go, or journeys that you can do in the new cloud installer. So if you select install, it'll follow the exact same process that you're used to. It'll start popping up the screens where it'll autofill in the template license code, so you don't have to do any work there. I think with Connector at the end of last year or beginning of this year, we made a major improvement here. Connector was one of the things that it always prompted you for a password. I think if you're licensed for Connector now, you won't be prompted for a password and it'll easily install. So installing will install it on your PC. Distribute will create a packager for you that you can then share with people. So I'm going to take you through the distribution user journey now. So if I select the folder that I want it to go to, and what happens is it starts creating the packager that you can share with the rest of your firm. How I envisage this to work is that if you can create the packager and then put it on a network location that's easily accessible if you don't want to let everybody download for themselves from the cloud, I think is the important part here. So you have the ability to do whatever you need. The third option is obviously the install and distribute, and that will install and distribute the software. So I think these are the changes that we've made to improve your user experience so far. So we try to keep it as simple and easy as possible, and I hope you see that here. I think what this does enable us to do, if I'm looking a bit further ahead now, is that we're going to give you the ability come next year to upload your customized firm templates to this cloud installer so that you can make one distributable for your entire firm. So it obviously will include Caseware and your customized templates, which is something that you currently don't have the ability to do. The other big benefit that we want to incorporate within this cloud installer is the ability to create a silent install. So silent installs, for anybody that's not aware, is the installation method which can be deployed to all users in your organization at once through your IT department and the group policies. So basically, when they log on to their PCs, it will automatically start installing the software. Today's process requires you to contact our support department, and also there's a turnaround time involved there. And then you can basically hand it over to your IT department to deploy. We're going to incorporate that into the process for anybody that does use it so that they don't need to do that with their firms. And I think those are the key changes, and that's exactly what we're working towards. I'm really excited. I think we're going to be monitoring this release and ensuring that any issues that do come up are addressed. So please give it out a try and contact me with your feedback. I think the only other thing I want to really cover today is just give you a bit of insights into the roadmap for the year and for next year and where we're at currently. So with this November release under Q4 2024, you'll see that we're doing a new Caseware Working Papers release. We did release Caseware Working Papers 2024 in July already. I think some of the key features introduced with that release was the unmapping of accounts that's associated with MAT numbers which didn't exist. So essentially, if you imported a mapped TV from Excel and that map number didn't exist, it automatically goes and unmaps it. I think previously it used to create that map number and it never used to pull through to the lead sheet. So I think that's a key benefit that if you haven't moved over to 2024, you should. It'll help you with that process. We've separated the turn protection on and the turn protection off under the rights in Caseware Working Papers, and we've created document insertion events which is also recorded in history. Those are just some of the highlights of the changes that we've made so far in that build of 2024. And with this update 1 of 2024 that we're releasing now in November, we're going to be doing, you will see that we've improved zero import. I think when there were multiple concurrent people importing through zero at the same time, clients were getting an error. That error is completely resolved now. So that's what you can look forward to this year. Coming up next year, I think there's a very, very small percentage of our clients that are using NRV licenses. There's about 80 of you guys. I'll be in contact with you guys directly immediately after the release. We will not be supporting those license types anymore, and we'll be moving everybody over to, or all those 80 clients over to the NLS license type. If I don't contact you, it means that you are not using the NRV license type, and you don't have to worry. You're just going to continue as normal. So then next year, we are moving towards a more frequent Caseware Cloud release cycle. We want to release at least every 2 months. Some of the features that you can expect from Caseware Cloud in the next year is that we're going to be introducing reminders for tasks, which I think is very important. I think we've taken a holistic approach to tasks and where it is working and where it's not working. Reminders was the most important feedback that we got for people to properly leverage tasks. So we'll be introducing that. We're going to introduce a self-service portal to get your backed up files. So when you're using Caseware Cloud, we obviously back up your Caseware working paper files. Today, if you want to request a backup copy for whatever reason, you have to go through our support department. We want to make the experience better, and we're going to create a self-service portal for you to request or get the files yourself. The other key, and one of the other key enhancements for next year is that we're going to be introducing or we're going to improve our business units feature. So the business units enhancements, we're going to create new entities page and a new contacts page. So business units is used only by firms that have been through a merger predominantly. So we want to improve the experience there. Then I think finally, towards the end of the year, we're planning to do another Caseware Working Papers 2025 release. And we're going to be targeting, as always, or as over the past 2 releases now, we're really looking at the speed. So particularly in that release, we'll be looking at the speed of probe, and when it comes to updating a file and using the file. So from that perspective, we plan on introducing a probe optimizer, which will let you only keep the documents the probe documents that you're using within the file. And the other big change from a speed perspective is that we've identified one key function which is run a lot of the time and consumes a lot of the time that every time you'll wait. It's called apply formatting lib. It's something that we are actively targeting to make sure that it still works, but it runs at a much faster rate. And I think that would provide a consistent benefit across all the desktop products. So those are the things we're targeting for next year. The last thing I did mention was on the Caseware installer, where we'll give you the ability to upload your customized firm templates, and we'll give you the ability to create your silent install. So I believe there's 2 questions in the chat. Let me just find them. Thank you. Okay, so the first question reads, should we install the Caseware template after the firm templates, or can we install in whichever order we prefer? So my advice would be to install the Caseware template on your as the firm champion on your PC only, and use that to create your firm template. Once you've created your firm template and packaged it, you only need to distribute your firm template. You do not need to distribute the Caseware template. So if you go to the Success community and search for firm template overview, you'd get full instructions from step 1 on how to create your firm template, and those steps are in that documentation there. So please go ahead. If you're having a problem finding the documentation, or when you're doing a firm template, please reach out to me. We're more than willing to assist. Then I think there's another question here. What is the process after the install regarding my customized firm template? So again, it's very similar to the first question. We know that there's been a lot of issues with the firm templates in the past. We did put in a lot of effort, for anybody that's not aware, in creating a firm template guide. It's a step-by-step process which you follow from start to finish, and it lets you create your firm template. What I'll do, because I see there's 2 questions now on this, I'm going to include documentation when we release this new cloud installer, and that you can access from the install/distribute tab on how to distribute your firm template once it's packaged in this new cloud installer. So if you don't find the instructions, or if you're having a hard time, maybe it's not getting it at the right time when you're using the firm template guide, I'll also include the same instructions. There's a help button in part of the install/distribute tab on the new cloud installer, what you see now. It'll give you the various ways that you have in distributing the firm template and the Caseware working papers, and it'll go into detail on the various options that you have, like whether you're going to just put it on a server somewhere and everybody's going to download, or you're going to use a group policy to use a silent install to distribute it, and I'll take into consideration the firm template there. So when you get this, look out for that. I think the final question is, if we have done the July 2024 update, do we need to do the update now as well? I'm going to leave that question for Ninka to answer. I think it depends on where you are, if you're very far back, but she'll give you the best possible answer to that question. I don't see any more questions. Yeah, oh, there's one more that's popped in. Is there a template manager for usual templates to use in our audit process? I'm not sure if I understand the question properly, Annie, but what I'll do is let me send you a mail with this question, and then after this webinar, and then we can chat about it. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to now hand over to Briven, who'll take you through the success community updates.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Preven Govender, as Mo mentioned, program manager at Caseware, and I'm really excited to share some significant updates that we've made to the Caseware Africa Success Community, all designed with one primary goal in mind, and that's to ensure we make your experience smoother, more efficient, and we be much more supportive. So over the past couple of months, we've listened very closely to your feedback, whether it's easier to access information in terms of our support hours, as Christian Stein mentioned, or generalized specialized assistance. We want to ensure that every interaction with Caseware is helpful and aligned with your needs. So today's updates touch on 5 areas where we've made these enhancements, and each are tailored to simplify your workflows, provide better visibility, and offer quick solutions when you need them most. Okay, so to start off, I'd like to highlight the extension of our support hours. We are now available from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and this 12-hour availability is significant to our service, and it's designed with you in mind. Whether you're starting early or finishing later in the day, the extended hours provides greater flexibility, allowing you to reach out at any time that fits best within your schedule. By expanding our support team's accessibility, we also aim to ensure that users with differing or set schedules can more easily plan and receive timely assistance. This change reflects our commitment to delivering responsive and convenient support to all our users. When you're on the community landing page, you'll notice we have a new contact us or contact support block. And from that community page, from that block, if you do click on that, you'll now have a specific page that says get support for your software questions. From there, you'll be able to see our contact details. You can contact us via phone. If you do have a telephony system installed on your laptop, you can click on the contact us button, and that will use your telephone system to actually make the call. And we've also just highlighted that the support hours are then from 7 to 7. Okay, so moving on to further supplement our support offering, we've also got a new consultant booking feature, and this allows you to now plan and schedule dedicated time with a support consultant, making it much easier to get expert assistance exactly when you need it. This added flexibility will also allow you to select appointment times that best fit your schedules, ensuring you have access to the right help without disrupting any of your workflows. And providing streamlined access to experienced consultants, really enhancing customer support and making it even easier to get personalized guidance on demand. This feature is designed to simplify the support process, bringing greater convenience and control to our users. From the landing page again, once you click on contact support, and from the get support page, you'll notice you can now click on book a consultant. And then on the booking page that you will then be presented with, very simply, very intuitive, you can select a date, a time, add your personal details. You can then provide additional information, which always assists the support consultant, ensuring that before that call, that scheduled call, they can gather the information they need, or they have an idea of how to help, and that makes the process a lot more efficient. So I do urge you, if you're booking a consultant, do add a bit of the details in. That will ensure a much more efficient call when you do get on a call with a support consultant. Once you've then put your details in, you simply book a consultant, and that will do the booking for you. You can then add that slot into your diary. You'll get sent a notification or a calendar invite for that. Okay. Next, very excited. Also want to introduce you to our new chat system. And this support enhancement is again also designed to provide tailored, efficient, and high quality service to each of our products. And the reason for that is there's a combination of specialized routing and streamlined support channels that now are committed to resolving queries much faster and with greater precision. So from a skills-based routing perspective, we've implemented a system that directs each query to an agent with specialized knowledge of the product in question. And this targeted approach ensures customers connect with the right expertise from the start. It saves time and it enhances your experience. Also, from an efficient support queries perspective, each product now has a dedicated queue, and that allows us to manage incoming requests more effectively. This separation reduces your wait times and ensures that agents are focused on the specific needs of each product, resulting in faster and more relevant responses. And finally, by connecting customers directly to agents who have the expertise needed, we're improving the speed and quality of resolutions. You are now able to get answers you need more quickly, leading to a smoother support journey and higher satisfaction without needing to, one, wait longer on the chat queue, and two, getting to a consultant who then needs to transfer you. So it's really an enhancement that demonstrates our commitment to continuously refining our customer experience for you and ensures that every interaction is responsive, efficient, and impactful. So just visually to show you, you will now on the community landing page at the bottom right have a chat with us option. When you do click on that, you will then be prompted to provide your email address. If you are in our CRM Salesforce system and it recognizes you, it'll automatically identify you, bringing up your name and surname. It will ask you then to confirm if that is correct. If it does not recognize you, that's still okay. It will then ask you to provide your name and surname, And the important reason for this is the chat functionality, once it routes you to an agent, will also then ensure that the case gets logged. From there, you will then notice you will be presented with an option of our products or support queue queries, and then very simply, whether it's installation and registration, XBRL, assurance, IDEA, financial statements, you select the respective category, and that'll ensure you are directed to the respective agent. So that is the new chat functionality. One of the things that I'd like to please also request is, if you do have any feedback, if anything is not working, if you experience any issues, please do log that with us. If you contact our support channel, and then just ensure and let us know if you're having issues so we can address that. All right. Then I've got two final areas just to speak around. One is the account manager details. So this is to really better support our firm champions. We're excited to announce the addition of dedicated account manager details within the success community. Apologies. And when logged in, champions will now be able to access the account manager details and contact information conveniently in the My Account section. So once you've logged in, you click on your name, you select My Account. You will then, on the page, make it much easier for you to see who your account manager is. So if you have any queries, you can contact them directly without needing to go directly through our support channels. Additionally, we've kept our finance team details in. So if it is related to any billing or invoice or finance queries, you can contact our finance team directly as well. Okay, then just looking at our training voucher details, where we do allocate training vouchers. Again, if you are the firm champion, we've made it easier to manage your training resources by updating the training voucher table. This allows then at a glance to show you your voucher details alongside the availability in terms of the voucher code, the start date, the end date, the expiry date of that, and then also what's being used. So this change specifically is designed so that you can streamline your planning, also allowing you to make sure you make maximum use of the training opportunities available to you. That's available through also once you've logged in, the My Firm's training page. And once you click on that, you will then see all the voucher details that is available. Okay. Finally, I'd like to just take you through our 2025 roadmap, which lays out a series of impactful enhancements aimed at elevating your user experience and streamlining key interactions with our success community platform. In the first half, let's call it the first quarter of next year, we want to launch the enhanced search feature. This will make it much faster and easier for users to find the information they need with greater accuracy and relevance, and that will tie into the functionality of our new chat feature. So we're really looking at ensuring that as you search for information, it's a lot more relevant, and tying that into our new chat feature, also then being able to direct you before you just search randomly to actually select the categories and become a bit more effective and efficient in that. Secondly, moving into Q2 of 2025, we want to introduce the WhatsApp chat for support. Really, this is one of the highly requested additions that customers have been asking for, and it's really an exciting, convenient channel for reaching us directly, improving accessibility and responsiveness. Then looking towards the last half or last quarter of 2025, we'll be rolling out license self-service and then also billing and payments. This will enable you to manage your licenses, whether it's to revoke licenses or ensure that the right users are assigned to the right licenses, and from a billing and payments perspective, to also ensure not only are you seeing your invoice details, but you can actually update payment information and make payments directly on the platform. Right, I believe that there's one question. So is the chat function limited to Caseware champions, or so the chat function is available to anyone on the success community? You don't actually need to log in. If you go directly to our success community, anyone can chat, any user can chat with our support consultants. Also, as mentioned, or maybe just to reiterate, you do not need to have a login for the community. If you do chat with our support, or if you do use the chat functionality and your details are not recognized on the system, the support agent that takes on that chat will make sure that they do log the call and create a case that we can then follow up with as well. All right, so thank you all. I am really excited that these enhancements reflect our commitment to continuous improvement and our focus on creating a more intuitive, responsive, and user-centered experience, and especially going into next year that we can continue that as well. I am now going to hand you over to Sandini. Sorry, apologies. I'm now handing you over to Ninka. Thank you all and have a good day.
Hi, good morning, everybody. And once again, thank you for joining us. I'll be taking you through the financial statements update and the changes that we will be releasing shortly. A few of you have asked in the chat about the new cloud installer, about the release when it's coming out. So I'll first answer that question. We are currently in our final phases of testing, and the new release will come out in the next few weeks. Please look out for your release mailer. It should be in the next few weeks, just after our final testing. Slides going here. So for those of you that were in the webinar in July, you'll see that we've made a few changes then, but I'm just going to quickly go through that again for those of you that have maybe missed it. So the first thing that we did is the changes of the base of preparation. It is for the IFRS and the SME standard that we now refer to the new standard name. There were some amendments to IAS1, not a lot of changes, but a few changes in a few notes. And then also amendments to IAS7 IFRS 1. Once again, not a lot of changes, but a new line that was added and a new note that was added for that. Then we had some new standards. We had the SOAPS 3, the assurance report that changed. We had some improvements on the super insert. There's some new options available, especially for those of you that does your firm template, details of property. There's a new text table that you can add. Please have a look at that. We've also included some sample connector reports for those of you that maybe wants to do monthly reports in connector. We've done some samples for you to see how it works. You can always expand on that. And then we've also, like most mentioned, done an improvement on the import TV with mapping that those unmap. So there was a What's New webinar in July. If you have not updated, all these changes will be also available in your release that's coming out shortly. Then our new release that's coming out now, the majority of the release and the changes in here is for the taxonomy changes for IXBRL. We have not made these changes last year due to some requirements that we had in Caseware working papers. So this is actually the changes for 2023 and 2024. There's quite a few validation changes as well, which I'll take you through now, which will be additional to your mandatory page. Then we've also updated the PI score calculation. And this was due to market feedback that we've got on when the figures are used after journals and before journals. So we've made some fixes there, and then also the incorporation of the new standards. So if we first look at the IXBRL update, like I said, there's quite a few changes that came through because of the validation, and I'm quickly going to run through them. So the name of the auditor, your practice number, and the name of the audit firm is the first three that you have to answer additionally. And then also you'll have to complete your holding company and your ultimate holding company. It's important there, as far as possible, we gave you some guidance. So if it is not applicable, if you don't have a holding company or ultimate holding company, then you could just put in null and it will still validate and export. Most of these fields do pull through from your information store, but we have also made them input for you to change if you want to. Then the next area that also is mandatory is your directors who have signed off on your financial statements. You'll see there's some drop downs there, so you can select your directors that is in your information store available that's signed off. And then also we've seen quite a lot of changes for the directors' emoluments. These are the first one coming through. There might be some more coming through with the Companies Act changes as well. But for the iExplorer at this point, it's just, is it paid or not? And then the value that it was paid. Then you'll remember at the bottom of your mandatory page, you have all these sections. Now, normally you won't see all these footnotes because as you populate your numbers, these will already not be there because they are mandatory. But if you don't have them, then you have to do a footnote. So there's some additional footnotes, the ones that retain income and then the equity and liability figures, which will normally pull through from your balance sheet. So you wouldn't normally see that. Then another field is the administrative expenses. So on this, we did give SIPSI feedback that not all income statements have this figure as a separate line item. So therefore, again, you can see it's a yellow cell. So it will pull through if you have it separately on your income statement, but if you don't, then you can also capture the figure in there successfully. Then we have the following three fields that will only appear if you do a consolidation, which is your profit loss attributed to the owners, non-controlling interest, and then the non-controlling interest line itself, which, like I say, will only be if you do consolidation. Then we talked a bit about the update, and I just want to highlight again the whole update process. So if you get your release mailer that will go out in the next few weeks, then you'll download your package like Mo said to you, which will have your working papers and then your templates that you use. As soon as you've installed that on your PC, if you open any old file, you'll get the screen, which is your working papers update. Now, we always recommend if you are mid-engagement to not update your template, but you can really go ahead and update your working papers. It won't make any changes to your figures. It is the functionality of working papers that is updated. But do remember, once you have updated to 2024, you can't update and go back, or you can't go back to 2023. So it is important that you as a firm all update on the same time, or if you work on a specific file that's an old one, to keep that on a separate PC and just manage that process. Then after you have done that and you've installed your template, you'll get this update screen, which will normally be your IFRS or your SME and then your probe, and you can select what you want to update. So like I say, if you're mid-engagement, then you don't necessarily want to run an update, but if you're doing your new year, then you can run this successfully. Do remember that if you have quite a few clients that I see on the call or on the webinar that does not use probe, that you can only update IFRS, and if you really need the probe documents, you can also bring them back in. Then if you have now already updated in July and you only want to do the XBRL update, so your engagements files on a previous template, and then you install the template on your PC, so the new one is you install, and you open your financials. But then when you get that block, I'm just going to go back one, this update available block, and you say cancel. You don't want to update it because you're mid-engagement, but you do want to run the XBRL. Remember, if you open that financials for the first time, it will take a little bit longer and you'll get the screen. But what it actually does is it opens your XBRL at the back end. So the XBRL update runs separately from your financial statement update. And that's why once you have the template installed on your PC, it will automatically run this update going forward on the files that you open. So if you did install and upload or did your files in your July release, you don't have to do that file new to get the new XBRL. It will automatically update. Right, and the next change that we've made is the PI score calculation. And this is feedback that we've received from the market. Now you get document 125, which is on the left-hand side of your screen, and you all are very familiar with it. But what happened with the XBRL is we've changed those numbers to be after journal numbers. And if you think about it, you want to determine the type of engagement that you're doing will be before your journal entries. So what we've done is we've adjusted the document 0125 to be your prelim figures before journals, which is the same that you'll use in your probe documents for planning. And then the XBRL mandatory page, sorry, there's a mistake there, is after adjustments, it's not before adjustments. So this will be the figures that after your journals is processed and your final figures for your PR score. If you type in figures for your average number of employees on your document on the left, that will automatically pull through to your document on the right. And your mandatory page information will also pull through from your financials after journals. But that is a change in the process. And I do believe it will help all our clients a lot. And they've actually, you might have not used 125 because of that reason. It is important to note, because this goes with the probe document, you have to open document 1020 and 1060 for your 125 to calculate. We do anticipate that only our probe clients will use this, as you will, and so you will go through the planning in any way. So I don't think this is an additional step, but just something to notice. And like I say, that will pull through there as well. Then the new standards. We had two new standards that came out in July, which is the second and the third one, which was IFRS 19, IFRS 18, and then the one at the bottom of the red block, which is the IFRS 9 and IFRS 7 changes. So those three came out in our July release, but they're only effective the first two in 2027. And then the next block that you see now will be in this November release. So quite a few of amendments coming through, but those are only applicable in 2026. Right, and then our roadmap for the rest of the year. We have our desktop release now, and like I say, you will get an email in the next week or so, probably a little bit longer, just for our testing to be finalized. And then we will go into the cycle next year to have our desktop release again this time of year, probably October, November. We don't at this point anticipate a big compliance change, so it will mostly be XBRL. But if and maybe the Companies Act, if that then comes through, but then any other changes will come through in that release. So we won't have a July release at this point. There's no compliance reason to do so, and we'll only have the release at the end of the year. But what is exciting for us is the bottom part of the screen. We are going to start working on the cloud IFRS financial statements. As soon as this desktop release is out, we'll start that. So we'll probably will go to beta Q1, Q2, and then release towards the latter part of the year. So if any of you are interested in that or be part of the beta, then please, you can pop your name in the chat or contact me directly, and then we will be in contact with you during the process. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Sandy. Sorry, let me just see. I think there's some questions. Sorry. Seems like the questions are not updated. You can keep an old file on a separate PC. Sorry. How do we know if the July update was done? So if you go in your financial statements banner, there's 2024-01-01 or 2024-02-01 at the top if it's SME or IFRS. So in 2024, then it was the July release, and the 01 at the back was the July, and now for November, that 01 will change to 02. So the banner at the top of your financials will give you an indication if the template was updated. The Caseware working papers, if that was updated, that will be on your icon on your desktop. It will show you that 2024, and that's how you know which working papers you are. Then I have a question here about unrealized exchange loss. I will reach out to you directly. I'm not at this point aware of the question that you have there, so I'll reach out to you directly. It's more accounting question. And then there's a question about how can I update my financial statements from existing client without changing my previous year arrangement after rolling over. So best practice is, so we do recommend that you update every year. And the reason for that is because of the support that we do and the testing that we do on the templates extensively is for 2 releases back. So we're supporting this year and then the previous release before that. So really a lot of testing is going into that. If you ever customize your files, then there does become an element of how you've customized it and also what we retain and what we don't retain, because we have maybe made a compliance change and therefore you'll have to go through your release notes. So it does become a little bit more complex in that regard. I'm not sure about what you said about your previous year arrangements. So what I'll do is I'll just reach out to you to get your full context of what you want to update and to understand what doesn't retain, and then I can assist you in that. Right, I see there's a few more questions, but most of it I will reach out to you directly as they seem to be very specific. There is someone who also asked about the slides. I will upload the slides now after my session so that you all have it. And then my product owner just reminded me to please also just mention we have made the CTM changes for tax 2024 update that also went out. I know there's not a lot of clients that are still using that, but if you are, those changes have also been made. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to hand over to Sandini.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It is lovely to be here with you all. I will be taking you through the assurance and analytics update for today. So I wanted to start off with just a high-level overview of what the last year has looked like in the assurance space. In Q4 last year, in 2023, we did a Probe and Audit International release. And then moving into Q1 of this year, we did a cloud release for attestation and agreed upon. And then in Q3 this year, we did a Probe, Audit International, Idea Easy Add-ons market launch, and our client inquiries market launch. I will be taking you through a little bit of detail into what that release did look like for those of you who may have missed it. And then upcoming in Q4 this year, we've got another Probe, Audit International, and Idea Easy Add-on release. So just at a high level, what our Probe July release looked like. We updated our document manager to include the two new apps that we released, that being the Idea Easy add-ons. We had a new folder for the Idea integration results files that come in from Idea. And then we also had a client inquiries folder where all of the documents from the client inquiries app could be integrated and shown in your Caseware working papers file. We also did a few speed improvements, which mainly related to new files. And the majority of the release related to our ISO 600 group audit engagements. So ISO 600 basically allowed group auditors to compile a standalone audit file that supports the group auditor's opinion. Then looking at Audit International July release, we made the same changes to Probe to Audit International, that being updates to the document manager for Idea integration and for our client inquiries app. And then we also made changes for our ISO 600 group related content. This again will allow your group auditors to compile a standalone audit file to support the group opinion. And then we also removed all of the old group documentation and integrated it with current forms. Then looking at our Idea Easy Add-ons July release, we did release Idea 12.4 in July as well, and it was our market launch of the Easy Add-ons. So Easy Add-ons basically at a high level has 5 steps. The first step is our Easy Extract, which allows your clients to extract data from their accounting systems. At the moment, we support Sage 300 and CISPRO databases. Then Easy Import allows you to actually import your client's data into Idea. Easy Convert allows you to map the data that you've imported from your client's database to a standardized format to allow you to integrate with Caseware working papers. And then Easy Integrate is what actually allows Idea and Caseware working papers to integrate with each other, which allows you to perform certain procedures and obtain the results of those procedures into your Caseware working papers file directly. And then Easy BI allows you to connect with data visualization tools such as Power BI or Tableau to actually visualize and dashboard your data. So that's at a very high level what the easy add-ons market release look like. If you'd like more information or you'd like to watch the webinar from the July release, if you've missed it, there's a little QR code at the bottom of the slide that you can scan. Then in July, we also released our client inquiries app. At a high level, this is a cloud app that allows you to directly request information and documents from your clients. And it also allows you to track your client's activity on each of those requested items. You can also simply and effectively provide and receive comments on those items from your clients. And you can do all of this within our Caseware Cloud Secure Hub. And this also integrates with our Caseware working papers files. Again, there's a little QR code at the bottom of the slide if you'd like to watch the webinar and find out more details on client inquiries. Then moving on to our Probe November release, which is upcoming. For us, this Probe release mainly focused on user experience enhancements for a group audit for ISO 600. So most of the changes we made are smaller automations and based on a lot of the feedback that we got from our beta sessions in July. I'd actually like to thank all of the clients who participated in our beta sessions. And I hope that you see some of your feedback coming through in these changes that we are releasing now. So looking at our first little change, we've added in some automations on 1050G, which is your plan extent of risk assessment procedures. So now when you've selected that a specific FSA is a consolidation balance only, you do not actually need to go through and complete the rest of the columns in the document. So that makes it a little bit easier for you and more efficient to complete the document. Then moving on to another little automation that we've added. Now your component performance materiality document, which is 1223G, automatically populates the answer for past misstatements based on your answers from 1220G, which is your component audit work. Again, also creating a little bit of efficiency. And then one of our bigger user experience enhancements is that now we are allowing you to actually export 1120G and 1220G Excel. In 1220G, your further audit work at component levels, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see there's a little export button at the bottom, which then will give you a little pop-up to confirm that your export has been completed. And it also provides you with a path to where you can find your export file. They will all be in your Caseware data folders. Then in 1120G, it's the same. There'll be a little export button at the bottom of your components tables. And then you'll also be able to find the export in your Caseware data folder. They'll be called export 1120G table or export 1220G tables. And then when you open that, that'll open up in Excel and it'll provide you with all of the data from that table in Excel. So that then allows you to easily filter and adapt the data and also communicate with your component auditors more effectively. Some other smaller user experience enhancements that we have released is that now when you're deleting a component or an entity from 1120G, there's a progress bar that'll be visible upon deletion so that if it takes some time, you can actually monitor it. 1220G is also updated to now only show work where the component auditor is involved. So whatever you selected in 1050G will now filter the work for 1220G so that only your component auditor work is shown in that document. There's also an auto tick now for the accounting estimates for each FSA in 1051 based on your selections made in 1050G. Again, another little small automation to just make things a little bit efficient and prevent duplication of work. Okay, and then moving on to Audit International. This is a smaller release for us. We've mainly just focused on fixing up the dashboard. There was a known matter in our July release that related to the dashboard where certain items like your risk response areas, your assets, equities, liabilities, they remained grayed out instead of blue, even though you have selected your various engagement profiles and you've imported your trial balance. So that is now fixed and that will now show up as blue. And then when it comes to our easy add-ons for November release, we've now released easy extract, which will allow you to extract data from Oracle databases. I do want to caveat that this is in our beta version, so if you do use it and you have any feedback for us, please do let us know. And then for Easy Integrate, we have expanded our Easy Integrate features by now allowing you to select items in IDEA for your substantive procedures. So this is broken up into 3 different steps. We have a population explore. This allows you to just analyze your population and identify specific items that you might want to use for further procedures. We also have item select. So this categorizes items that are either individually material, individually significant, or specifically identified items, again, to allow you to test those items in your Caseware working papers file. And then lastly, we have sample select, which then allows you to select a random or a systematic sample from the remaining population. Just a high level of what this looks like in your Easy Integrate document in Caseware working papers. So you'll see now there's a step 7 that's added to your Easy Integrate. It allows you to configure your selection of items, to choose the FSA that you're working with, and then it gives you the 3 options to either choose population explore, item select, and sample select from there. We've then also added in 2 new folders into your document manager under your IDEA integration folder. And this is so that the results tables from IDEA can automatically be populated under your item select folder and your sample select folder. Okay, and then moving on to what our roadmap looks like for 2025. So everything that I've just taken you through will be now released in Q4 in the next few weeks. And then looking at 2025 in Q1, we will have an attestation and an agreed upon release. The purpose of this release is mainly to align both of our products more closely together. We will have one master document manager, and there will be alignment between the document numbers between the 2 products. We are also adding in institutional investors for agreed upon. When it comes to ISRE review on cloud, which is a very exciting one, in Q1 we will release to our what we're calling our early adopter program. So this will be released to only our existing cloud users with limited number of licenses, and it'll be free to use from March 2025 up until May 2025. And then in Q2 of 2025, we will actually release our ISRE review product into the market. And then moving along further in the year, in Q4, we will again have our Probe, Audit International, IDEA 13, and IDEA Easy Add-ons desktop release. So for Probe and Audit International, it's not going to be a very compliance-heavy release. We will mainly be focusing on the actual technology and the features. We will also be including a content and document optimization that will allow you to remove unnecessary content and procedures so that your file sizes will be smaller, and hopefully you will get a lot of speed improvements from that as well. And then on the IDEA side, we will continue to add features and functionality to the IDEA Easy Add-ons. Thank you so much. That is it from me. I will now hand over to Rinda.
Morning, everyone. I am Rinda Skumbi. I am a product owner in our assurance space, my focus being SQM. For 2024, just looking at what we've done in this year, we started with the system reset just end of last year. We've also then released our Collaborate integration and the annotations. In Q2, we've released our contacts access feature, as well as printing your SOQM to PDF. In Q3, we released the Operates Overview dashboard. So coming up for Q4, in this month, we will have your redesigned SOQM, some more dashboards, and then also having the status column in design. So let me show you a bit what we've done. Firstly, the system resets. So we've heard that as you maybe started buying the product, you played around. After that, you start to actually use it. But before that, you actually need to do your system reset. So we've included this feature. It is a two-step process. Just because you click the button in design setup doesn't mean it gets reset immediately. This will send a notification or a request, which the firm admins will then need to accept. Next feature is our contacts access. So today in SQM, you can actually give contacts on your cloud. You can also give them access to SQM, and you can control which modules they will have access to. This is done in our settings in Manage SQM. You will then be able to select those modules. Going into the product itself in design, we have added a status column. So if you look, for example, at objectives, you will then see a new column called status. In that column, we have 4 statuses, the first one being missing information. This is especially relevant on the risks where you have not yet assessed that risk. So it's not yet ready for sign-off. Once you've filled in that information, then you get status ready for sign-off. And from there, you can then get status done once you've signed it off. The full status we've also included is not relevant. So this is the case where you've selected a mandatory or a network item to be not relevant. So this you will be able to see in November with our release. From the status column, we've then we'll be adding a design dashboard. So this is in design insights. You can see the 4 statuses on these circles. So for objectives, for example, there I've got a lot of items that are ready for sign-off. At the very top, we've also added the responsibilities, setup, and understanding. For example, in understanding, when you expand it, you can see what have you done and what have you not yet done. So the steps are also in there. This is hopefully to guide you to get to a process or to a place where you can then publish your SOQM. Then we've also released the Collaborate integration. And what this means is that when you design a procedure, you can now select under timing the Caseware cloud activity. So in the past, we only had timing and manual. Now you can even select Caseware cloud activity. From there, you can then select the event, for example, when an engagement is added. We also have other options like when a staff is added, a contact is added, or maybe when someone is removed. So those are the events. For the engagement, you also have then the sub-event field. This is where you then actually choose the engagement that got added. Once you've set up this procedure and you've published with a task attached, that task will then get sent to the assignees of the procedure once that event occurs in Caseware Cloud. In Operate, you already have the option to print your SOQM to PDF. This is on that layout as you would have seen it in the SOQM. On the SOQM, what we will see in November is we've redesigned it. So we've combined the table view and the manual view into one view. So on the left, you have your table with then, for example, the relevant ethical requirements component. Per component, you will then see the objectives, etc., that have been linked. You are able to search, for example, annual ethics declaration. This will then filter this list. And on the left, you can then click to see more details on the right-hand side. So what I've got here on the screen is I've selected the task. The task gives me the description. I can view the form. And we've also added the quick create task. So from that form that you found in your SOQM, you can now also create the task if needed. But we've also added for our people that are responsible for design and monitor, they will be able to go and select a version of their published SOQM. So just between the new layout toggle and the published information, you'll have a drop down that you can go and select, for example, a previous version. In Operate, this is where I, as an employee, for example, of the firm, I will have access, and this is where I will complete my tasks. So what I can see then in November is also a dashboard to be able to manage my own tasks and see the status of each task. In Operate Overview, this is a dashboard we've released previously. In Operate Overview, the people, for example, operationally responsible, they can then see all the tasks that have been assigned to people within your firm. From this dashboard, you can then see, for example, by status and user status. On the right-hand side, we have filters, so you can filter this dashboard. We also have two additional dashboards, which is the by user and by task. So you can actually see those tasks, for example, by user to see what the completion status is of them. And then lastly, on the annotations, so in Monitor, when you create a work program, you will have those monitoring activities that you've selected. On these monitoring activities in the work program, you can now add an annotation, for example, a link to your working paper. Moving then to our roadmap for 2025, some exciting things coming next year. We'll definitely release our November release with the dashboards and the status column. In Q2 of next year, we are going to have some Sherlock integration. This is so that we can trigger some tasks that happen, for example, based on events on your working papers file. Then we also heard about the library content. It is valuable to you guys. However, it does take a lot of time to work through all of those content. So next year, Q2, we will be releasing some library improvements. And then we'll also be looking at Monitor, how to more closely link your Monitor to your published SOQM. In Q4, we will continue with the Sherlock integration, continue with the library improvements, and then we will also be adding Pendo, which is like an in-product training module that you can, that it will just show you a bit about how to use SQM. Then we'll also do some ADA integration. So Christian mentioned earlier around our AI tool on ADA. We'll also be looking into integrating that into SQM. And lastly, on the reports, for example, your SOQM that you need to report on, will show you some information that you or generate a report for you. Also check out our SQM Moodle course. This is on the elearn.caseware Africa. You can also scan this QR code to access these two courses. The first course is for our operating module. This is what most of us will need to learn and see how that operates. And then for the people that are responsible to design, monitor, and evaluate their SOQM, there's the second module. Before moving on, any questions? Happiness. Thanks, everyone. I will then hand over to Minka.
Thank you, everybody. That brings us to the end of the session for today. I know this is a little bit early for some, but we do want to say thank you for everybody, for all the clients that we have. You're really the reason why we do what we do. So your continued support is really appreciated. And we do want to say happy holidays. I know it's very early for that. It's the last time that we probably will do a webinar to this group for this year. So I hope you survive the next few months and then you enjoy your holiday. With that, I just want to also highlight our limited hours during December. So limited hours is now 8 to 5 because, as Priya's mentioned, our hours are now 7 to 7. Then we're closed from 23rd to 1 January. Our support team will not be available then, but you can still go in the community and search there if you really have something urgent. And then we will reopen on the 2nd of Jan. I do have a few questions coming in about the presentation. The presentation is shared on the handout of this webinar, so you can go download it there if you want. And then the release Slider will contain the recording of this, the link to this recording, as well as the July recording if you have missed it and you want to go back to that. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to end off with a little sneak peek for our Get Ahead 2025, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.